Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is September 13th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CI headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Defcon level event in the United States or elsewhere on the evening of September 13th of 2025 during the live broadcast of the Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford super fight boxing match currently taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. So for those of you that are unaware, this fight, which is being promoted by UFC President Dana White, is on Netflix for free. That means that this fight is basically going global and is likely going to be watched by upwards of 1 billion or 2 billion people. What's important about that is that back on January 28th of 2011, I published a book entitled The Nuclear Bible about a false flag nuclear attack on the Super Bowl during the live broadcast of that particular sporting event, and therefore the CIA has a reputation and has already set the precedent for staging mass attacks during live broadcasts, as evidenced by the Munich massacre during the 1972 Olympics, as well as the Olympic Park bombing during the Atlanta Olympics back in 1996. So they always seize upon live sporting events because their goal is to terrorize millions of people instantly by showing them horrific images, which we just saw with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which was the video of which being shot right through the neck by a sniper was distributed on all social media platforms around the world and was not banned. So the question is, obviously, what is the CIA going to stage on the evening of September 13th of 2025 during the 9 p.m. to 1 o'clock a.m. window, Eastern Standard Time, is obviously not known, but I have identified numerous plots. After this video, it's highly likely that the CIA would change the respective targets or locations or means of delivery of this particular attacks, but I'm going to list them quite briefly. Firstly, the CIA is plotting a Chinese strategic bombing attack targeting Los Angeles and or Las Vegas, Nevada, possibly nuclear in nature. The CIA is plotting a Chinese drone swarm attack targeting Mexico City, so this goes hand in hand. I believe that first they would stage the attack on Mexican City when the biggest superstar in Mexico is fighting in the that being Canelo Alvarez is fighting in Las Vegas, and then they would follow that up with a strategic bombing attack, a nuclear attack targeting Los Angeles and possibly Las Vegas. The CIA is also plotting a mass attack by Israeli special forces masquerading as Iranian or Hamas terrorists in Doha, Qatar. Considering that Doha is on the Persian Gulf and you have Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Yemen all next door, it's highly likely that the CIA is going to order those special forces in Qatar to a different location for a mass attack on September 14th, which would be live during this boxing match because it's roughly 5 o'clock in the morning there at this time. The CIA is also plotting a Pakistani nuclear attack targeting Vatican City, and this would obviously be designed to trigger World War III. The CIA is also plotting attacks, possibly under the guise of trans shooters targeting synagogues or other Hebrew, Israeli, or Jewish-related entities in the United States. The CIA is plotting a Russian-backed Venezuela attack targeting military bases in San Antonio, Texas, namely Lackland Air Force Base or Joint Base San Antonio. The CIA is also plotting it was either supposed to take place last night or tonight, is a 9/11 style tactical nuclear weapons related attack using a Boeing 747 targeting Donald J. Trump's Trump National Golf Course, Bedminster in in Bedminster, New Jersey, which is obviously designed to trigger the mutually assured destruction scenario. Also, a man-made asteroid strike targeting the southern Pacific, possibly Tonga, Fiji, American Samoa, or that particular region of the South Pacific, and or a Russian-backed attack targeting oil platforms, oil rigs, oil tankers, or oil pipelines in the North Sea or the Norwegian Sea, to specifically to trigger a war with NATO. You recall that the CIA blew up the Nord Stream pipeline and blamed Russia, so they're planning on doing another attack. So just so you know, some sort of Defcon level event is planned during the live broadcast of the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford super fight boxing match at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's also the realistic possibility that the CIA is going to stage Charlie Kirk revenge attacks in Las Vegas, possibly targeting the Strip, and or some sort of race war revenge attacks targeting other leftist celebrities, if you will, in the wake of this horrific assassination of Charlie Kirk in Orem, Utah, back on September 10th. Also, there's a possibility, because this Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez super fight is taking place in Allegiant Stadium, which is the Raiders Stadium. I believe it holds 70,000, if not more. This is very rare for a boxing match. Usually they're in stadiums, and so there's the high possibility that the CIA is going to stage some sort of a mass panic, specifically to trigger a stampede, possibly under the guise of gunfire, firecrackers, or some sort of perceived terror attack. We saw this recently with the Charlie Kirk assassination. There was roughly 3,000 people around this particular event, and they scattered. Luckily, nobody was hurt or injured in that particular event, but they had places to go. In this particular case, there's going to be almost 100,000 people in an enclosed area, and so if there is a stampede, it would likely be on the floor where the boxing match is. If you recall, back during Conor McGregor versus Khabib fight in Las Vegas, there was a melee at the ring, or the cage, I should say, and there was so some sort of altercation, and coincidentally there was a fight during the weigh-ins for Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, in a fight between fans in the stands. And so it's highly likely that the CIA is going to stage some sort of an event which triggers a ripple effect through the stadium, likely resulting in the death of hundreds, if not thousands, of people. So just in closing, the 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to the 1 o'clock a.m. on the 14th Eastern Standard Time in the United States, the CIA is plotting some sort of DEFCON level event designed to trigger World War III or a second global biological pandemic. And so the CIA plans to seize upon this unprecedented viewership, tuning into Netflix for this super fight, which, as I previously mentioned, is free if you have Netflix subscription, which is, I believe, the number one most popular streaming service in the world. And so some sort of horrific attack, terror event, bombing, biological outbreak, or World War III is designed to commence during the live broadcast of this event. And if there is, the CIA does stage any sort of terror attack, or attack or invasion by China, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, North Korea, or some sort of domestic terror attack, it's going to be CBRN in nature. That's chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear in nature. You can mark it down. So obviously, if the CIA stages any sort of terror events during the live broadcast of the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight on the evening of September 13th of 2025, I kindly ask you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.